7 o'clock. We're going to start our meeting today, and everyone's here except for Mary. And let's have our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So at the beginning and the end of our meetings, we recognize members of the public, and thinking that you might have something to say at the beginning of our meeting, we can give you 2 minutes, or you can take 2 minutes at the end of our meeting. We'll recognize Jacob Newby, who's a Addison trustee, and his sister, his mom. His mom.
Good job.
Well played.
Welcome, Jessica.
Yeah, welcome, Jessica.
Jessica,
Jake. All right, so let's review our agenda. I do have one addition to the agenda. We presented to the Township Board last night, and the Township Supervisor would like for members of the board to meet with him personally to review and go over some questions about specific things related to our request for a piece of property or a portion of the property to construct our land. So let's put that under new business, and then we can talk about that at that time. I don't know what we want to call it.
committee to meet with Bruce.
Oh, I like that. You catch that, Marilyn?
Yes. Townships. Yes. Before the next meeting, before their next township board.
Yes, they're in their next meeting, July 17th. So yeah. Would now be the time where we take some things off of old business?
Yes, certainly.
Parking lot?
Yes, complete.
I did note that they carry cold pack and bags at Home Depot.
Yes.
So if, you get little spots, maybe in the future, that might be something you just think about. 12 bucks a bag. Car drives over it, it's down.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
Do
Thank
you
you.
have to warm it up or anything?
I don't know, it's cold pack. It's just,
No, you just open up the bag and
Oh,
put it in there. I mean, so it's like putty, kind of
okay.
form it out, put it in
How
there.
come how does it not get hard in the bag? Is it like sealed from the air or something?
That stuff really out there will really never get hard.
No.
Oh, I see.
heating it up and kind of get it, pack it in place to help it.
I see. All right.
Maybe you have a point. Mr. Prill, Leonard Prill, who did the work, he gave us a 2-year guarantee on the work, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And he put some quickcrete on top of it, which kind of
Yeah,
solidified it
sure.
a bit. But we noticed that it is starting to dissipate already
Yeah.
with the rain. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm glad you
Yeah,
brought that up.
All you did with the heat and the pressure, all it's doing is just getting it more dense. So it's
see.
creating higher density, so then it's harder to move.
Okay.
Well, let's keep going on the
All right.
agenda. So, any other changes on the agenda? We're removing parking lot repair.
Let's see.
Engaging the public, we can remove
I think we
that.
can remove
Because
that,
that was
yeah.
a survey that we discussed but never really pulled the trigger on. And then the third bullet, the proposal, we kind of covered that
Grab
last
stuff off the
night.
printer.
So I'd say we're beyond that now.
Right, yes.
We're going to be moving forward to answer specific questions.
Are you gonna cross it off and leave it on?
Yeah, let's cross it off.
Do you have anything to report on that?
Oh, we'll talk about that.
That will be under
You bet. Under the committee, Bruce requested to meet independently of the meeting.
No, yeah, I understand.
All right. So with those changes, is everyone
Yeah.
can move to approve the agenda with these changes?
Approve it.
That's the other paper.
Second that, Brian? All right. All in favor? All right. Updated agenda approved. All right, now our consent agenda, what are we going to list this? That was our minutes
Minutes and bills.
and the bills.
That's
Does anybody have any
In the financial report, if you want to just correct the text after Huntington Bank, it says by James Baldiga. Maybe motion to accept. By James Baldiga, second by Brian Howard. 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, a motion to accept, that's how we start the sentence.
I'm sorry, I was writing something.
First page.
Yeah, so try to cut and paste there.
What's up? Go for legal. What's up? Legal. Legal paper, it's 8.5 by 14, isn't it? It's 8.5, the same distance. Okay. Was it or what? I'm scanning. Okay. Let me just start all over. I used to do it, but I didn't do it anymore. My mind is just nuts.
Are those two
Oh,
motions?
start over.
So with that change to the minutes, I think our expenses by vendor summary, we did say that we were going to put a notes column in there. I don't remember why, there was a specific reason. Remember?
Oh, because sometimes you pay more than one bill to specific vendor, like for example, this month we paid 3 bills to Teeler. And I believe that was what you were asking for, some explanation
right.
of the specific details of those.
Well, under
Just
the,
type in those specific bills in there. But I must have forgotten to do that.
But
we're scanning the tree.
you know, I think it was things like, just they come up that you know, but we don't.
Okay,
Like
yeah, sure.
Baker and Taylor, who are they again?
It's your book
Okay.
vendor. Oh, so things like that, just put book vendor in there instead of Baker and Taylor.
Or if it's somebody.
Okay.
Chunk was paid.
Oh, that's right.
And give the name of their company, that would make it a little better.
Like
for
we
you.
paid Laura Prill.
Yeah, Laura Prill is actually Leonard Prill's, actually, the company is Laura Prill's company.
And that's the parking lot
That's the
repair.
parking lot.
That's why we need a notes column. Okay.
Yes, that's
All right.
exactly, okay. I get what you're saying. You're right, it's not
You
self-explanatory.
couldn't do like, did you type in that name, right?
I can't remember how I
I
got
think I
to
just pulled it off.
It's easy. It's a
Yeah,
push of a button.
this would be who QuickBooks.
Somewhere you typed that in, right?
Well, originally when I was creating.
That's not what I have to do. I do this all the time.
Yeah. In parentheses,
No,
if
you
your last
don't.
name.
I do this all the time. and I-
Okay,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'll try to do that.
Yeah, there might
I'll see if.
QuickBooks might not be that flexible.
Yeah,
Maybe not, but like it might look
sometimes.
nice.
I figured it out.
Well, sure.
And in parentheses, I might put like, concrete contractor or something, and then it looks like it's all in one, but really you kind of just trick the system a little bit. Just a way to maybe make it easier, I don't know.
Oh, good point. So you don't have to read it.
Vouchers.
So every time she doesn't have to manually take the notes, it's just an idea.
Okay, no,
If the notes were better,
I know there's a lot of options within QuickBooks. You might not be using them. You know.
Yeah, I know
right.
what you're saying.
Okay, so we discussed the consent agenda. Let's just, hit each item then. The minutes, we had some changes to the minutes. I move to approve the minutes as edited. Okay, so he was first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All in favor? Aye. All right. And then,
I really wanted it to be okay.
okay. And then there's really no changes on the expenses. We just talked
I'm
about
gonna
it.
figure it out for all you guys.
And create a notes feed.
Create a notes.
Or, yeah, change.
All right. So moving right along to our financial report. We'll turn the gavel over to Jane.
We just did it to,
You take a look at the snapshot for the month of May. And
see, I only know how to do it with having a flash drive and I'm putting it.
in terms of our expense, we received our millage check for the
I'm just
township,
trying to find where.
$247,000.
It's legal.
And this month we spent almost
As long as you're not printing it, it shouldn't matter
$18,000
what side you
on
start.
payroll and vendor expenses.
Somewhere.
You can see a total.
You guys need to know, now I can't
Our
find.
totals are down below.
So let me see what.
And our accounts balances are also available there at the bottom.
I I figured it out.
This is 13.
That's right, this is 13
Figure it out
months.
again.
And with James's help, we created a really nice visual, so you could see how our money stacks up.
Yeah.
Yeah, LGIP, our investment pool with the Oakland County Investment Pool is doing very well. It received over 1%. And I was going to pull that report for you. If we have time, I'll provide it at the end of our meeting, but I think our money's doing much better in the investment pool than it was doing in there.
So we should expect that number to increase
Absolutely.
with our next
Statement.
income expense.
The really nice thing is we're getting statements every month. We never got that. Every, and if you called the bank, they didn't know who you were. You were turned over to somebody in Detroit or somebody in Washington DC. It was a big runaround. And now I can call someone one-on-one and ask them what our balance is, and how much money we made in the last month. It's all local. And it's all local. They get right back to us. I really think it's great. It was a great move. Thank you, Lori Fisher, for suggesting it.
Yes. So last month there were some questions about how, because we had 52,000 from the CD, but we put 104,000 in the LGIP.
That's right.
Okay, so where did that other 52 come from? That was
It came from the savings account, where you see back in March, it was 257,000 down here in the bank account balances, and then it dropped to 153,000. You can see we took that money out of that account. And then in May, we received the $240,000, and there you see the increase there again. So you can do the math. You can see how it went down, and the money came out of that and went into LGIP.
okay. So, but I'm still not clear.
Okay.
Because-
all right. Yes,
That you are correct. That is $104,000.
exactly.
What happened then to this 52,000?
That 52,000 went into the LGIP.
So
So
We have it in May then.
did that 52 go into savings and then go?
yes, it had to go into savings first.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
had to
okay.
move it because of the time constraints based on getting the LGIP
I see. So
set up.
at
That's
the
really
beginning
what
of
it
February, our savings account, we had $224,000.
was. Yes.
You deposited, you moved that
That's
52,000, so that put
That's correct.
our total in sometime in February to 224 plus 52 would be 276. But then we had to pay a bunch of bills.
That's correct.
So our end of the month, or for March, was 257, and then you took the 104 out. Okay.
That's right.
Okay,
Yes.
I see it now too.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
yep.
thank you.
It doesn't all add up
Explain
until you
it.
see up here, we've got expenses and
Yeah,
everything.
you're missing the little expense things.
Right.
Yeah, the expenses.
Stuff's overlapping.
That's
No,
true.
all right, cool.
Yeah. About
So-
$20,000 in expenses.
With any luck, when we go over the financial snapshot in August, half of us will remember that.
It'll be a question until we get through the 13 and then,
Yeah,
then look
yeah.
at it.
Maybe we should put a note
Yes,
at the bottom.
okay.
I'm not getting any younger.
All right. I'll remember that.
All right.
All right, and if you need a, detailed explanation of our expenditures, you'll see it in the profit loss budget versus actual report. And the totals of our account are also included on page 3 of that report.
So our expenses were slightly less than April.
That's right.
Is there anything stand out that we should know of?
I guess the only thing that stands out is that we did pay about $2,300 to have our parking lot repaired.
Okay.
That was half, well, we got an estimate from Birmingham Asphalt at the beginning of the year, and they were estimating about $5,000. So we saved money. We did it with cold patch instead. But our stay here is temporary, and so we wanted to minimize our investment. So that's really the only thing I think I needed to comment on our expenditures
Okay.
today.
So would someone care to move to accept the financial report, and then we'll do a roll call vote.
I'll move to accept.
Okay. Roll call vote.
We need a second.
Oh, we do need a second.
I will do that.
Okay. Marilyn, second.
Yes.
Roll call vote for approval of the.
Agree what we're doing,
the- what-
agree?
Yes. James?
Yep.
Marilyn? Brian?
Yes.
Yep. And I say yes, and so it goes. All right. So we have a director's report.
Yes. Okay,
That's in here somewhere.
it is. It should be after. Okay. I included the amended board meeting agenda from last month, so you can ignore that.
Okay, I was wondering why that's in there.
But after that, you'll see the director's report. It
Looks like
includes-
this.
Yes, spreadsheet. Includes all the numbers from May. The reason I'm leaving all the other numbers in there because I'm keeping tabs on all the programs we do. And it's really easier than to keep it together than trying to parse it out and give you just what we did this month. But you know, some of our circulation numbers look down, but we were 5% higher than we were at this time last month, which is really good. Good news to us.
Last month or last year?
Last year, excuse me, last year this month. Last year in May. So that is good. I think that when you compare the total registered users, it went down, but I think a lot of our customers are coming back this month for summer reading, which begins this month. And you know, we are creating new cards. We created 17 new cards in May versus 11 new cards in May. You can see our door count went way up in May compared to last month, in April. So the use of our library is ongoing and continually improving, I believe. You know, our participation in our regular programs are
Then,
doing,
what is the total number of items? Is that the sum of all these?
that's the sum of the items on the shelves.
Okay, that's really consistent.
Yeah, it is fairly consistent. You know, we are really doing a good job on weeding and maintaining the level of our collection. And we work really hard because we know we don't want to overwhelm the space. We want it to look, you know, open and friendly,
Right.
and we're in charge of that. So, so we replace our collections on a regular basis. So, you know, our door count looked really good. We looked really fresh, and our numbers are good. We discontinued Zinio, so you'll see a 0 there. We just weren't getting the use for that. And, you know, I think people are using magazines less and less as the internet has taken over people's reading concerns. Our Facebook likes went up by 10, so please go on Facebook and like us. We're rocking it on Facebook. You should see all the wonderful comments, the pictures of our programs. I update it every day, put new things, put creative events. So there's a lot of great things going on Facebook. And I think, you know, we had a blood drive last month, which was wonderful. Compared to the one before in January, we did just about the same. So according to the Red Cross, we saved 87 lives with our blood. So I felt really satisfied with the turnout. We did a genealogy 101 program, which was really wonderful. Second page. We had a couple of authors last month. We did not have good turnout for them, and I wanted to admit that right here and there, here and now, because you know, we did everything we could to generate interest.
Wasn't the time though kind of like a Saturday morning or something?
Yeah, it was a Saturday morning. You know, we think maybe the time wasn't great. You know, so we're gonna look at that again. You know, but we do like to have authors come to the library.
Sure.
Yes.
And, you know, and that might be something that's like a fall winter thing.
That's possible.
You know, a lot of folks live up in Addison Township because it's beautiful outside.
That's right. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I live out here.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Total participation in all our events this year has been 387, and last night we had capacity here. 60 people attended our program.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was really well attended. Joel Tacey did a fabulous, outstanding job here, and the parents were really engaged. The kids were very engaged, and I was very proud of everybody here, the staff. Everybody pulled together and did a fabulous job.
Cool.
So I think we have Val, are you there?
Yes.
How many people do we have signed up for summer reading so far?
Oh, let me check the sheet.
We've broken our record, I believe.
We are at 128 right now.
That's fantastic.
Weren't you shooting like for like 60?
Yeah, something like that. So 128 is really great.
And
Yes,
everything on this page is just since 3 o'clock this afternoon.
that's wonderful.
wow.
So,
Yes. Yeah, and the principal allowed us to present at the school this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
saw that in an email. I was wondering if that was the library.
Yeah, that was the library.
Yeah, I think that gets a lot of
It
attention.
did. We got, and they are allowing us to come back in August to do one of the curriculum nights. So we're going to continue to interact with the school.
You know, you might consider something on the marquee. Best of luck, all 180 participants. And then as it
Yes.
changes, you know, because
great.
people just driving up and down will see.
McDonald's,
Yeah, that's
Millions.
right.
Millions.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And don't forget, August 10th, we're going to have our grand prize drawings. We're giving 2 Kindles away to kids and a Kindle to a teen, and we've got 3 great baskets. Lynn, you can talk about that. Lynn wrapped up these wonderful prizes for adults this
We
summer.
were very fortunate to get the Great Lakes Mercantile and Oxford to give us an awful lot of Made in Michigan. We decided this year for the adults, instead of just gift cards, that we would make gift baskets, and got donations from Oxford 7. We got donations from Mercantile, and then we had things we could just pull together and give some gift cards. So we've got 3 different baskets, and this is the first year we're keeping track of adult and teen participation. Usually we know we had it, but we didn't know from how many people. So that 120 whatever, that's probably got a record number, because when the parent signs the child up, Val's been signing up the parent.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, we've had a lot of excitement about the baskets. I think it's going to go really well, and enough that for the silent auction in the fall, I plan to go back and hit up the, because they do beautiful baskets.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Cool.
Yes. Thank you. All right, I believe that concludes our director's report.
I did have a question though
Yes,
about
certainly.
was it reference questions?
Yes.
What is, people are asking that many questions?
Yeah.
In a
they-
month?
Well, we track the use that we get at the desk.
Yeah.
Besides just checking books out and
Right, yeah.
returning books in, we ask our staff to mark when they help with faxes or when they help
Yeah.
with finding
Oh,
books for
okay.
patrons or
All right,
referring
yeah.
books or placing holds on books for patrons.
So people are important to be there, not just the automatic desk.
That's right, yes. Our
We're all
staff,
wonderful people.
thank you. Yes, and you're a wonderful patron.
No, I'm having surgery in the morning, so I'm like,
Aw,
wonderful people.
well, thank
all
you.
good.
We appreciate that. No, our patrons are the most important people in here, and we hope they feel like that.
Yeah, you know, the 389 is about 11 people a day, and that's minor, especially summers.
Yeah.
Today, we've been crazy busy.
Yeah.
And unusual kinds of things that people are looking for.
That's what I was kind of, I mean, in March you had 629.
Whoa. Income tax.
March is
time.
income tax.
Income tax season, we always get requests for forms and things we can't answer.
Would anyone besides me care to move to accept the director's report?
I'll move to accept.
Okay, James moves to accept the director's report.
I'll second it. Second it?
And I'm going to, Mary Ellen seconds the director's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. All right, committee reports. I do not believe we have any committee reports.
That's correct.
All right. We do have an old business thing that's on here that I want to talk. Well, I guess we'll start at the top. James, do you have anything you want to bring us up to speed?
No, we're
Okay.
going to be talking about
Okay, good.
the properties.
Engaging the public, we removed. The other one removed. Policy review. What happened with that list?
We have it here in your packet.
It's in the packet.
It's in the packet
Excellent.
today.
Yes,
Yes.
and it's right here.
Yes.
And
Correct.
James, the
Next
only thing I
page
added,
after.
you asked about things besides whatever. And so the financial policy is there. We only have really one financial policy. But all of these are the policies that were last reviewed, I think it was 2013.
Yes.
Sue Hatfield, Jane, and myself, we sat down with each of these and went back over it. And so they certainly are open to review. We can have smaller committee again, just review, make sure that everything is still applicable and it's supportable, I guess, from the board. You know, unintended children policy, things like that, what we do, and we would have to ultimately support. So we had the input before, but I think it's very important, the whole, you know, a lot of people here are new, I think everybody here.
Right, and you know,
Yep.
I remember being a part of one of the committees reviewing one or two of the policies last time. I think it's important that all of the trustees have at least some familiarity with everything.
Right.
So what I would suggest is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 8 policies. Let's start at the top and look at the mission and goal statement. That's probably a really small
Yeah.
one. Okay, let's do the first 2. to distribute, after this meeting.
All right,
And then we will have some group discussion about them at our August meeting.
all right. So you would like, and I'll take, don't have to worry about it, because I know you got a lot going on now. So I'll make sure that I email everybody
Yep.
the mission and goal statement and patron service policy.
Yeah.
They're both very short, but we
Okay.
can take care of that.
Sure.
Thank you.
And then we'll review code of conduct for September. We'll just plow through.
Yeah.
Sound good? Cool. We don't have a meeting in July.
That's right. No meeting in July and December.
We don't have to look.
Okay. That's because of the strawberry festival.
Strawberry Festival.
Or something.
That is our meeting.
We hope you all run in Strawberry.
Why is there no meeting in
No,
July?
that seems to,
Most
I don't have the
places
answer for that.
cancel their July meetings.
Is it like GM shutdown?
Government does. It's been this way for years, and I think it had a lot to do with the fact that board members lived on the lake or lived in the area and went on
All right.
vacation, and they just weren't available.
Well, I'm not going to suggest we change that policy this year.
Christmas is always a busy time,
Yeah.
and middle of the summer, give everybody a break. I
Maybe,
think.
maybe if we had something really, really pressing, but I'd say
Sure, we could have-
let's take our summer break and come back in August and review those top 2 policies. All right. And then there's a director's evaluation is our next item.
Yes. Okay, well, I went to a couple places to provide some information about director's evaluation. The Idaho Commission for Libraries has a really succinct list of items to consider while you're evaluating your director. And I thought, this is really nice, it's short, it's to the point. I went also to United for Libraries, which is on the next page. And it gives you the background information for what you need to know when you're evaluating a director. So it gives you a lot of really great things to think about. Staff relationships and management, library goals, financial responsibility, overall quality of library services, community relations, facilities management. A lot of great things here to consider. Just paging through. And then after that, they provided a list of samples from different libraries.
Oh, cool.
And I printed those out for you. I printed out the one from Hatfield Public Library and Rochester Hills Public Library, which I thought was interesting that that was on the list. It was the second one on the list.
Oh, no kidding.
And it's the shorter one.
Huh.
It's the more condensed one. And it may be one you want to consider. One thing you could think about is perhaps creating questionnaires for the groups of people you want to solicit, feedback from. You could talk to the friends of the library. You could talk to the township. You could talk to the community members. Because I think, we service everyone here, as well as the
I would
employees.
I would caution that we should primarily take input or documented input from people who work closely with you as opposed to someone who might not, maybe only work with you on a couple of different things.
Right, true.
So I think most of the board and key employees is what I would suggest.
Okay, that's right.
At least for the, the written documentation, the written evaluation.
Surely. Okay, so you have these 2 examples, which I think should, between both of them, should fit our needs. They ask about professional awareness, collection development,
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
take care.
Total hip replacement, I can't drive for 3 weeks, so I'm like,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
a lot to think about where you can't drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like groceries and faxing.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Take care. All right. Implementation of board decisions, development of staff, et cetera, et cetera. But they're both very good.
Thanks a million.
Well, I personally, I didn't go through the packet, familiarize myself with both.
That's fine.
I don't know if anyone else on the
No,
board
you
was.
Was this even in there?
It wasn't.
No, I was
you're-
saying I reviewed
You
it
were
and I didn't
seeing, no, it
remember.
was
Yeah, okay,
not. You were
okay.
seeing this for the
So
very
we're,
first time.
yeah, we would need time to take this and digest. it.
Okay, so let's put that on. At least have some discussion, and I'm fine with saying let's look at Rochester Hills and Hatfield and let's pick one, unless there's a reason to create a hybrid version.
More personalized, I guess.
Yeah, unless there's a pretty good reason to do it. I imagine that these are going to suit our needs, and then we can look at actually, doing the evaluation September, November timeframe, and then probably do it annually.
Right, correct. I believe that's important.
Brian, you have something on your mind?
No.
No?
Did they have the director themselves fill out their own evaluation?
I don't know the answer to that.
I think
That's
that
a
would
good
be
question.
a good thing to do too, where you think you are.
Self-evaluation.
That kind of thing, or
Okay.
that sort of thing too. So once we get that together, that would be really interesting.
I like that idea.
As a typical I'm familiar with is like, for example, 360 reviews, but it's, you'll get a review from people that you're working directly with, so maybe it's 3 or 4 employees, and you could choose one, we could choose other ones, and then you would do a self-evaluation and an evaluation from your, in this situation, I mean,
And then what happens to all those? Does it all get?
well, you can put them in. You can put them in line, and they get reviewed, right? So we would review them or something, and then there could be flyers that it's like, well, maybe this isn't very an accurate statement about JMO because of a certain situation, so you can kind of get an average of what's going on and really understand
Makes
a
sense.
good review, because you can get personal opinions in a review, and that could just be a grudge, maybe, right? So.
She could be wrong. So,
And then
yeah.
we can discuss this in August, but probably the board collectively fills one out. I can't imagine us each doing one. And so what we might end up doing is selecting 3 members of the board to be the director's evaluation committee or group,
Right, yeah.
and then review that. And then, what is your sense? And again, we'll probably talk about this more in August. But what is your sense about the private nature of it? Should be in this meeting. Should we cover that in this meeting, or?
You mean how like have a closed session?
Yeah.
That may be appropriate because it is a personnel issue.
Right. So that's just that's something to consider as we review these and discuss how to perform the evaluation for our August meeting. So make sure that's on our August agenda.
You might know, the year after we got here, they did a director evaluation, and you might ask Joel and Sue Hatfield, because they did it with the staff, and they called it, we all sat in the back and talked with them, and this and that. I don't know what ever came of the things, but he might have some insight as to why they chose that, or what kind of questions it covered.
All right, good deal. That concludes our old business portion of this meeting, and now we have new business. We have 2 items. I don't know if we have anything new to talk about on the fundraising consultant, or we should just talk about that now.
No, we don't have anything to talk
All right.
about at this time.
Well, let's, I guess that's something that I tossed out last month that we should think about.
Fundraising consultant, that's for the construction and new building.
Correct.
Do you want to put that in a topic that we talk about when we get to a new building or business?
Probably should.
Like,
And-
just add it to that subcategory column there again.
And I am not opposed to hiring somebody to help us with this because, number one, next year is what anniversary?
The 40th.
4-0.
Yes.
The big 4-0 for our
Exciting.
library. And I'm sure that if we enlisted the help of a professional, we would really be able to leverage that 4-0.
Yeah. But you're probably going to you're going to make more money, so what you're paying them, you're still going to be making money on top of it. So it's like a
Exactly.
no-brainer.
And
Depends
it's,
on how they're paid. They're paid a percentage.
yeah,
That's
and
true.
it also, it will be certain to be done if we hire someone.
This is true.
If we try to do, who's our volunteer fundraiser for the library new building? Raise your hand. Right. Not everyone at once. So, is that something, maybe check the
Yes.
yellow pages?
Well, I could check with the consortium.
The consortium,
And
yes.
check with the listserv.
Yes.
And see what other people have hired,
Yeah.
who they've hired. I have a lot of colleagues I interact with.
Do you have something?
We've had churches do, my experience, capital campaign. Hire people who do capital campaigns.
Ah, yes.
They actually bring the whole team together and lay it all out for you.
Oh, cool.
It's the same thing we were talking about, but I think that's more.
Yeah, you know, that's a better name for it. I think being that we're going to be raising money for the construction of a library, it opens up for us the audience that we can make appeals to. You know, you think about 100-some years ago, Rockefeller, all the libraries he built. There are philanthropists wondering where they can write a check to help. You know, and they're not just in the city. So somebody, a capital, what did you call it?
Capital campaign.
Capital campaign
That's right.
consultant would hopefully have the connections and the insight to connect us with those people.
Sounds better.
Very good.
Fundraising sounds like we're selling wrapping paper and chocolate.
Yes, and I do not want to sell wrapping
I
paper.
have a question. I know
Yes.
you do this stuff. Oh, your social media presence, I know it's an excellent.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long you've been here. I really enjoy the Facebook activity.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
thank
here, because I get to see everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so exciting.
Oh,
Is-
that's so great.
How
Glad to hear that.
are you, my guess is with a capital campaign, you really want to build that up. And you have a strategy for that. Or
Well,
have
that-
you already been doing that? Because I haven't paid attention besides the Facebook.
You know, speaking to, you know, Jim, the social media is primarily the library patrons, I think, is
Yeah.
where we're, at least that's where it's at right now.
Well, the capital campaign might have ideas. I'm guessing
I
they
see.
do, they specialize in marketing as well.
Right.
That's my experience, so.
And how to use your social media
Yeah,
to
they'll have all kinds
engage
of
the public.
Right.
plans
Yeah.
I would
laid out
imagine there's
that
a
you
lot,
can.
there's a lot of different vehicles, and we had talked about writing letters. You know?
Yeah, it's not, Facebook is great for this, but there's other strategies as well.
That's right, I agree with you. I'd love to talk to you more about that.
So we have, you weren't at our meeting last night, but we have 48 months roughly before our lease is done here. So we have 4 years to raise the money, develop the plan,
And get it built.
build a library, move all these books.
Yes.
I'm not worried yet about time.
I'm breathing down my neck.
We want to make sure we keep pushing because if things do go sour, we're already starting to lose their progress that we've made across the street.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Okay, so capital campaign. Okay, so the other item on our new business is we presented our letter, our proposal letter, our
Yes.
letter of
Talking
appeal,
points.
talking points, letter to.
And it's here. I included in your packet, so you
Oh,
can
good.
see what we did.
Yeah, to the township board last night, and there was no discussion, there were no specific questions. It wasn't obvious to me that it had been, you know, even though we provided it a month or so ago, actually read, or I thought we would have got some questions about that, and instead it was asked that members of the board meet privately with Bruce to go over specific things. And I offered him out. I said, well, what sort of things? And he didn't really have an answer. So our next step is to identify a couple of people, probably a couple of board members, probably Jama also, and set up a meeting to go talk to Bruce to address his concerns. Some things that we can do while we're putting that meeting together, because I don't know when that meeting's going to happen yet, okay? There's some specific questions that I became aware of regarding the legal precedent or feasibility of building a building on leased land. So let's just say, for instance, the township leases us a portion, a 99-year lease. Okay, so I know that stuff happens. It would be nice to have a precedent or someone that we could help explain how that works. Okay, because I don't know. I don't imagine.
I'm not familiar with it.
I don't
either.
imagine I don't imagine anyone on the board of trustees knows, unless there's developers and attorneys on the trustees. So what we probably need to do are two things. Number one, contact our attorney And I'm not even sure if we're asking the question correctly.
Okay.
All right? But have the conversation.
So you want to know the precedent and the ramifications of such an agreement?
Here's a for instance.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we're leased some land, we build a building, and we run out of money. And there's a partially built building.
Yeah.
All right, so the township, I imagine, is going to want to have some sort of protection in place so that that doesn't happen. And hopefully we wouldn't start to build a building that we weren't 100% certain how it was going to be funded completely.
Right.
Not only the construction, but the ongoing maintenance and whatever. So that's one worst case scenario. Another worst case scenario is there becomes an initiative in the township to cut our taxes and eliminate the library millage so that everyone can get that money back and not have to spend it. What happens to that building? All right, so a possible scenario might be, let's say it happens, all right, and the township residents vote to eliminate the library millage. We might have to have language that says in the event that happens that the millage is collected for 6 more months and that money is used to demolish the building and replace the playground. You know, so we have to think building a building on leased land, and it's going to be an iterative process working with the trustees, but we have to start with the meeting with the supervisor to get his initial questions. And like last night I had no answers because I didn't have the questions. So we will start there, and we'll meet him as a group, a subset of the board of trustees. Maybe we create a committee. Maybe we request that the township trustees have a committee, 2 or 3 members, that we can have committee meetings to work through this stuff. It shouldn't be the president of the library board working directly with the supervisor of the township. And
I agree.
it should all happen like this.
I'd be very hesitant against the leasing idea, just because you're talking about an entity, not a person.
It's really not unusual though.
It's not, but there's a lot of what ifs, just like you brought up, so it'd be very detailed, and it can be worked out. But
I'm familiar with one situation. My former ex-mother-in-law built a building, owned the land, and leased the land to Rite Aid for 99 years. And they built $1 million building on her piece of property. And the 99th year, she owns their building.
see, but that would be the problem. We're talking about a library that we hope in 99 years from now is still here. At least that's our goal.
Sure.
So it's like.
And what aspect, I mean, what impact would that have on grants, our ability to acquire money from someplace
Well,
else?
it's good discussion.
I'm of the opinion that anything can happen. Anything can be made to happen if you have cooperative and willing participation and you agree on an end goal. So that might be where we start with meeting with the supervisor to get his initial questions, but also just get buy-in. Are you, do you agree, or is this a goal that you share with the library board? Or do the trustees share this goal with the library board? I don't know, maybe it's preferred that we lease a building.
It's definitely questions that we would have to ask. I agree with that. And if that were to be the case, Lisa, and one thing you'd want to bring back to the board is the board comfortable with that? Because I think maybe one of the goals we would want to target, this is just me thinking about what we talked about in the past, would be that the library eventually wants to kind of be independent almost. Not have to have anybody underneath you, just like you're leasing here.
We're kind of independent right now.
In
regards to our,
Yeah.
we're a separate entity from the township government.
Right.
It isn't that
Yeah.
way everywhere. But as I pointed out to the board last night, many local governments have municipal complexes that include things like the township offices, the police station, the fire station, and a library. So there must be a reason that a lot of local governments do that. And we're kind of doing that now, but it would really, how cool would it be if our new building matched their building in design? You know,
The
in
bigger
sh-
question
in
I'd have-
shared like a, you know, a walkway where you could walk out of the rain. You know?
I think it's a great idea. I think that'd be awesome. I like that idea, the campus kind of feel, right? But why wasn't that thought of when they were in the building? Why didn't they ask the question?
Because we're separate.
You keep
Doesn't hurt
saying,
to
talking,
ask.
I'm sorry, you
Go
keep
ahead.
talking about leasing, and I might have missed a conversation because I thought originally we were talking about buying, or at least buying would be preferable, right?
Well, let's.
Because of the he keeps talking liability.
Right.
And if we own the property, that releases them, I think, from any liability. And even as a landlord, because we have rentals, we're only responsible for so much, I mean, that a tenant can do. So I can understand the liability aspect, which is why I think if we were to purchase it, that makes us more independent.
But the reason, you know, I'm using that word is because a purchase to me indicates a more permanent split division of the property. And if you look at, and I don't have the best aerial photos, and you know, we don't have survey markers to know where everything is. It could create, you know, depending on how the split happens. You're familiar with the term enclave. Like Hamtramck is surrounded by Detroit.
Right.
I don't know that I'd want to do that. That just seems weird, you know?
What are you saying? I'm not quite following.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not
to
talking
sell the library a portion of property that's surrounded on four sides by
other
by the
township.
township
They're
property.
like landlocked.
That just feels weird, doesn't it?
I don't know
I
about
don't know.
weird.
Oh, and now we have access to the parking lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's
it's,
Yeah,
right.
so-
I mean, you're hemmed in by neighbors. You're
Yep.
hemmed in
So-
by
so-
the same neighbor.
So these are all questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and however, whatever direction it goes, that's the only reason I've been using that
That's
term.
okay, I just thought maybe I didn't, because I've been up and down, didn't know if I missed something.
Where,
I was gonna
did
ask the
they
same
throw
question.
that out? Did they throw leasing out? or
No,
did-
there
that
was-
oh,
There was
okay,
no
all right.
discussion whatsoever.
Okay, but they didn't say, no, it's completely impossible? Or did they just,
No, not
No,
really.
We didn't get a no.
Not in those terms.
That was the upside of
Okay.
it.
No, we really didn't go feel one way or the other that what was
Yeah.
requested, and I didn't get a feel that the supervisor had read what we had prepared, and the trustees really didn't speak up about what was provided in their packet. So,
they did a listening
Maybe
session?
that's how business gets done.
yep.
You ever watched them?
What's
I
that?
think
You ever watched it on cable?
No.
You should.
I think some of those.
It was a very
those
short
meetings-
meeting.
I think some of those meetings usually decisions are made the next time, right? Anyway, so it's kind of like presented the material to them, they digest it. And I know the planning commission's like that. There's never a
I was
decision made.
I was ready to answer questions. You know, I
I
had
know.
been drinking coffee all afternoon. You know, I ironed my shirt.
You had your speech ready?
I had, you know, and I was up there for 3 minutes, and then the meeting ended. It was actually kind
Yeah.
of, it was
Anticlimactic.
didn't really go the way I was
No,
anticipating.
and I wasn't permitted to speak. I was
Yeah.
assuming that I was going to be able to.
Yeah,
talk
I
at
was ready.
first.
You're right.
And then Bruce said, Mr. Pearson said, you know, that James would have to.
We should let the elected official present it.
I see.
Yes.
That brings me to my next point. Sitting there listening, I got the definite impression that he does not want this initial meeting to be a group adventure. To me, it sounded very much like a one-on-one, and we don't want to be offensive. We don't want to start out on the wrong foot. What happens if you call to make that appointment and it's made clear that nobody else, I think we have to be careful with how we
That's
approach-
completely his prerogative.
Okay.
Okay?
But you won't.
But as a member of the community and as an elected official on this board, I have the, opportunity to continue to bring things in front of the township trustees. I can get on their agenda for anything. I could get on their agenda about monarch butterflies if I wanted to. If I had a compelling reason, wanted to talk to them about that, okay? So,
I think this meeting with Bruce is okay, but it's just got to stay to information only. It's got to stay to information
Did
only.
he say just one-on-one with various board members, or he was talking committee?
He didn't really
Subcommittee?
He
indicate.
just said, you come into my office, come into
Yeah.
my office, and we'll talk.
That's
right.
right.
It was
Well,
very
kind-
casual.
It was, you call me and come and we'll have a discussion.
And then we'll just take notes afterward in the car.
Yep, and then I'll bring it back to our group
Yeah.
and we'll, okay, so,
Exactly.
so,
Well, he's, that's
you
his
know,
character.
I wanna have that meeting, but I
Operate.
don't wanna have that meeting with just Bruce and I.
Yeah.
So I'll, okay, so, we'll, a couple of board members and I would like Jema to attend.
I think it's important to bring in a woman. I honestly believe that it's not conscious, but when we did this project, it was done solely by 3 men. Not, 2 of them were not on the library board. It is a long-standing tradition here that it is more of a patriarchal government, okay? But I think it is important, Jema especially, she knows the library and why we need it and how busy it is. I mean, these are things none of you can know, that is why you hire
She
her.
certainly articulates it better than any of us.
I agree. I mean, she's got
Yeah.
the nitty gritty of the reason why it needs to be better. She's got all the
Absolutely.
facts behind it. I mean, it's like the owner of the business, and they know the struggles. And
Okay, so,
Can I just say one thing? I just like.
when I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done now.
I don't mean to step on your toes.
I'm done now.
I just would like to say at the end of the day, it's all about saving the community money.
It is.
It's really a bottom line for us.
Yeah.
I think we're accountable and we want to do the best for everyone here.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were there last night.
Didn't the architect say, you know, $160,000, $200,000 for driveways and parking lot across the street?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
exactly right.
That'll buy a lot of books, you know?
And we'd like to save that money for the community.
Yeah.
So that's our goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd just like to say, I've been watching our library board for many, many years, 20, and also our administration at the township. And you have one of the best administrations for our township that we've ever had. They're friendly, they're diligent, they check their liabilities. They built that building there
Oh,
for an amazing price. And a lot
Yes.
of it was due to Bruce and his friendliness.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to just say to you guys, I think this was more of an effort to really help you along.
Yeah.
And just take it that way.
Yep.
It's this administration is nothing like it's been before. I mean, they're really good at helping make great things happen. So I just want to encourage you
Yeah.
to think
Because
about
that is the way he operates.
It is.
Kind of like, give me,
He's
sort of
very, very
yeah.
friendly and helps people, and he's very creative. And that's what this library board needs
Yeah,
right
look at
now.
what
Right.
Howard School up, yeah.
A lot of things that nobody hears about, and they're done very smart, thrifty, and creatively. And I really encourage you to just think about that and be open.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a little fresh. The meeting didn't go anything like we had discussed it might go. And so I think we're kind of just a little bit reeling from that, and just regrouping on that. So,
And I agree with you, that what worries me anyways, part of this is since we are separate and we are controlled, we have an obligation to be transparent to our patrons. We are dependent on elections and millages, which I don't think the township really does. I mean, I know there's taxpayer money, but what I'm saying is we are completely dependent on what we can get. And so we have to, the board here is very concerned about making sure they look transparent. I mean, I have no doubt, I lived here 30 years, and you're right, I've been through a lot of administrations here. Bruce is great, I mean, you know, I've known him for many years, but we have to protect ourselves so that our patrons, to whom we owe fiscal responsibility, don't say to us, hey, we hear you went back there. You know, and what are you talking about? That's all.
No, I think it's fantastic, and what your director has done, this is beautiful. I mean, you guys are on a great start to being transparent and showing the public that. That's what I want to see. And that's honestly what I think the board wants to see, the township administration. And this is a great start.
Thank you. No, I do appreciate what you said. Bruce Pearson has done an enormous amount for us and helped us and has been creative. And he's gone out of his way personally to help us. I watched him paint walls here. I watched him lay asphalt. I watched him stay up all night to help us build this library. And so did many of the people here. Many of you were here painting and asphalting and carting books. You know, it was a huge community effort. And he's been really on top of those efforts here to you know, get people together. You know, I believe that that's in his heart, deep down. Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you, Jessica.
so yeah, so I would like you, James, to be part of that.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of heading up the point man for the
Sure.
new building.
Yeah.
So Do you have, we can either talk about it briefly now or take it offline, times that work better than other times?
Yeah, we can talk about it after the
Okay,
meeting, so
okay.
it's not something that we need to plan out here.
And then Brian, you stick around and,
Whatever you need.
okay. 'Cause I have a very flexible schedule. I can meet pretty much any day, anytime.
Yes, you're
Okay, so
you're a
that's-
money man.
All right, so there was two things that I think we should do some homework on before we have that initial conversation. And the second one is solely you, but I guess it could be the architects too, is, and Olbert kind of put this in my ear, we should have some understanding of what sort of septic field requirements.
Oh, yeah.
Being on the lake, I'm familiar with a lot of the
Right.
difficulties with septics.
Sure, so, you know, our laboratories here, we've got 2,
3,
3, okay?
yeah, and we have an old field in the
Now,
back.
for a commercial building, typically for home it's by bedroom.
Okay,
For a commercial building, I'm not sure how, if it's rated per square footage, that you have to have a certain size field. I'm not familiar with, but I can read up on it.
The building inspector, probably,
Yeah,
say it again?
Oh,
the building inspector will be able to help you with it too.
Oh, okay, all right.
yeah, I think it, yeah. We'll look into it. I think county
Okay.
has information.
Well, the county would be the ones
Yeah.
who would be
Yeah.
the overlords on that one, truly. They
Do
would,
do you have time and do you know who we want to contact for that?
Yeah, it's usually pretty easy. to
Okay.
dig up. I can find it.
Yeah, so after our meeting today, the three of us will figure out a day that I can propose sometimes to Bruce. I'll lead setting up the appointment. All right, and then we'll go from there. So I don't have anything else under new business. We're at the point of our meeting where we do public forum again. Anyone has anything else they'd like to add?
Jacob, do you have something to say? I know you've been here and you haven't said anything.
I might be at that meeting too.
Okay.
That first appearance.
Oh, very good.
Okay, cool.
I did want to add something. I was in communications with the director of Brandon Township, and she has invited our staff to participate in an all-day staff training next year. So we'll be working with Clarkston Independence Library and Brandon Township Library and creating a staff training day.
Is there a specific topic for the staff training?
I believe we'll cover a multitude of topics, but it'll be a chance for our staff to network with other libraries as
Yeah,
well.
okay.
So we're really looking forward to that opportunity, yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's adjourn this meeting at, I got 7:56. Good job, team.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
This is a